Commerce LinkedIn Live. I'm Beth Shero. I am the CEO and co-founder of Shero Commerce. I welcome you all today. We've been helping our customers grow online for 14 years now and continue to grow. And I'm joined here today with one of our account managers, Jana, and I'm excited to talk about some of her recent collaboration with our clients around design, UX, and data. So we have a lot of great things to talk about. And we'll also be talking about some of the events that have recently happened and that are going to be happening at Shero. Q1 is well on its way, and it's been a very active year already. You may have seen we were at NRF, and I gave a speech at a local high school. So we'll dive into that a little bit here. And I want to start off by welcoming Jana from our team to introduce herself and talk about what she does at Shero as an account manager. Hey, Jana, what's up?
Hi, Beth. Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. It's rainy today, but we're making it.
Same in New York. I guess it's better than it's been because we've had some unpredictable weather, and now you have as well in Missouri.
True. We'll take the rain over ice. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I hear you. So, our audience here today, I think, would love to hear about what you do as an account manager and maybe just kind of walk them through how you support our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background, I actually studied marketing and management, and that's kind of how I have found my way into e-commerce. Over the last few, I've worked in business-to-business relationship management, and that's kind of where I found my passion. I love working with people, and as an account manager, I really bring the people piece to businesses that are partnering. So as an account manager at Shero, I really just focus on ensuring that we are meeting all of our clients' needs, that we keep big picture in mind, and we keep focused on business goals and what value we're creating through our processes. And then just making sure that we advocate for clients when they need us to, and pay attention to their changing needs, and that we pivot right alongside them when a new need arises. And so that's kind of what I've been doing at Shero, and have been loving it.
Awesome. Yeah, we love having our account managers. It's really important that our clients have you as a resource to lean on to talk about goals, road mapping, but also to your point, you're an advocate for them. So any challenges that they're facing, you are like their go-to person to help them work through those challenges. So excited to talk to you today. Yeah, and then just kind of like diving in, we were at NRF, so I'm sure you saw.
I did. I've seen lots of things about it, but I haven't actually heard much directly from you about it. So I was hoping maybe you could share just a little bit more about the events that we've been doing lately, because I see them on LinkedIn, and I've been, loving seeing what we've been up to. So would you mind telling us a little bit more about NRF, and maybe I think there was another event that you went and spoke to. So
yeah, absolutely. So I think since COVID, events have changed so much. And I think this is the first year back that it felt like it really had that energy that it had, before the pandemic. Great to see everybody out and hustling. There is so much energy going into this year. It's great to see. So that was exciting just to see the buzz and energy, and people that we've known for years have evolved and gone into different roles, and just kind of catching up. Some people we haven't seen in years. So at NRF, I was able to meet up with BigCommerce. We met up with Shopify, Clayvu, Patchworks, Feedonomics, and Shipper HQ. As you know, we're partners with all the platforms and all those great people. And very nice event I attended for the women's domain. So this was focused on supporting women, and it was like a nice little group of women in our industry that just kind of had an open discussion about the challenges we're facing and how to tackle them and come together to support one another. And I found that very valuable, and it was fun, and it was just great to meet other women in our tech industry, but also there were some retail merchants there as well. So it's just interesting to see what their take on, women in tech is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was exciting. And I live close to New York City, so, it's kind of easy for me to go down and see everybody. But I didn't actually get to go in the show, but it's always a marathon at NRF. It's a huge show.
Amen.
Yeah, so we have some pictures we want to show if we want to bring them up. Awesome. Okay, so I said on the left here is like the NRF kind of pics, and then I was invited at our local high school to talk about technology, and I graduated from our local high school, so it's kind of a funny like blast from the past nostalgia feeling in a way. Funny enough, I graduated 20 years ago from this high school, and I was able to present to the robotics club about e-commerce and tech and some of the things that we're doing at Shero and how I got started in the industry and how we became Shero and what that journey looked like. So it was really great, meeting young people that can hopefully become e-commerce experts maybe one day.
I love that. Yeah, that's really special. Kind of like full circle coming back around and getting to interact with the next generation. That's really exciting. And investing in teens is something I think is just an incredible use of our time and energy and talents. So I love that you did that.
And they are so smart. They were asking some really great questions. So it was interesting to see, what they're thinking about as they like look out into the future of what they want from a job. Like it's definitely very different. And it's good to see and learn from. Yeah. So hey, Jana, we already have a question.
Oh.
Who is your favorite client? Oh boy, Gentian's putting you on the spot.
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I have so many clients that I love working with. Man, favorite? I don't know if I could narrow it down to just, I'll call out a couple that I really love working with. Love working with Tormach. They're a fantastic partner of ours, and I love the collaboration with them. Really love working with Just Right. I've got some amazing contacts at Just Right. I love working with Will and Zay, and they've been fantastic to partner with as well. Gosh, and we're going to talk a little bit later about another one of my favorites, Archer Roos. So we've had a really good relationship with them. I feel like there's a lot of trust there, and the collaboration with them has felt seamless and easy. And so naming a favorite, that's like picking a favorite yet. But
unfair.
Who asked that question?
Yeah, and he loves asking questions like that.
Well.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going to dive in here. We have a couple of slides. We're going to be talking about our team collaboration, data, CRO, design, UX, UI, and how that can help your e-commerce transformation. So I'm just going to dive in. There's a couple of slides I'll be talking about, and then Jana's going to come in and talk about her experience with this. So your e-commerce strategy. One thing that I always try to tell our customers and anyone in e-commerce is data is your friend. And most people know this already, but you want to make decisions based on data. And this is so critical because if you make decisions based on your gut, it may not be accurate. You might not get the results you expect. So some different ways that you can collect data in e-commerce. Heat maps are really valuable. Google Analytics, obviously, or any kind of analytics tracking, A/B testing, and surveys. It's just really valuable to learn from your customers and make adjustments and refine. E-commerce is constantly evolving, and so is the technology, and what the customer expects continuously evolves. So you need to stay up and think forward of what your customers will need and want next. And getting data to do that is really helpful. So a really simple example is using heat maps. So this is a great example. It's really just showing how the user experience is affecting what people see on this example. The heat map showed that there were a lot of clicks on this hamburger menu on our Benchmade website. until we audited it, and it was sending them right to the all products. So that's not like a very seamless experience. They probably are clicking on it to navigate through the site on mobile and then are being sent to a page they don't want to go to. So we learned from that experience and adjusted that. The other thing to think about is with conversion rate optimization. So you may have heard of this as CRO. And that's kind of like a broad term and maybe a trendy thing to say, but to boil it down, it's really about optimizing your website for speed, mobile. Obviously, mobile is so important now. Thinking about the colors and fonts and where buttons are to make it as easy as possible for customers to add the product to the cart, and also the customer experience overall. You want to engage with your customers and make it as easy for them to get the information they need. So, like using a live chat can really help with that. I mean, SEO is a no brainer. I know it can be challenging to focus on SEO sometimes, but chipping away at it on the background is really helpful. Also, no brainer testimonials and reviews, upsells of the checkout. I mean, the list goes on. There's so many things that you can do to improve your conversion rate optimization. And, where do you start? That can be challenging. That's where the data comes into play. You can learn from the data and start to prioritize what is going to bring the most value based on the changes you're going to make, and you're going to evolve that and learn. So it's a continuous rhythm of learning and adjusting and fine tuning. However, if you do increase your conversion rate optimization, obviously the greater the number is that you're getting your conversion rate to, the more money you're going to make. So, it's highly beneficial. And a piece of this topic that we're talking about is UI versus UX and design. I thought this graphic was really helpful, and I'm going to ask Jana to come in again to talk a little bit about her experience with the teams. But, I think this simplifies it in this graphic because, you have the UX that is very black and white. It's very functional. It's based on research. It's not making it look beautiful. It's more about making it practical and, just understanding flows. And then you have the UI aspect that's making it more visually appealing. So I think that left right brain kind of scenario is a good way to show it in this graphic that I found. But Jana, before I move on from this slide, I know you've been working with a lot of our customers with UX and UI and design in general. How has that evolved for you? And based on your marketing background, is it something that you enjoy working with our clients on?
Yeah, absolutely. I typically would be on the UI side of this. So, but I love this graphic for the fact that it does show you that there are different ways that people process information and different things that they focus on. So I think it's nice that we have this side by side, and it's important that we take into consideration everything for UX and UI perspective. Understanding that not all customers fit into a one size fits all kind of scenario. So yeah, we've been working with clients, and I think more and more our clients are recognizing the need to take into consideration UX and UI on their e-commerce platform. Evaluating, adding new features, updating the look and feel, even just moving things around on the site. We really try to focus on making sure that we're thinking about it from a customer experience, a customer journey, conversions, taking all of that into account before we make changes. So yeah, I think more and more that's kind of what we're heading toward, is not making those decisions in a vacuum and making sure that we're taking this into consideration every time we go to update something on a website, particularly on a homepage or a page with like the checkout page where we interact with, and we need to know that the customers are going to do the things that we want them to and interact with the site the way that we want them to. So yeah, and just one of the companies that we're working with right now, Tormach, I mentioned earlier, we're kind of going through this process with them as we make updates to their homepage, and that's been really fun to see, bringing our e-commerce experience into the mix to make sure that we're considering UX and UI when we're making those updates. So
Yeah, absolutely. And when I started thinking about us talking about this topic, I started to go through all of the clients that we've helped with this, and it's quite amazing when you start to collect all the information. it's not something we usually call out per se. It's just part of our process, I would call it. And I love now that we're kind of elevating it and pulling it out front and center and saying what it is and the great services that we're offering around this. Because I think since it seems so seamless, people don't even realize what you're doing sometimes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a couple of scenarios that we're going to talk through. So one for me to highlight, and like I said, we have numerous clients that we've helped with this, but I thought this was a good one. Center for Creative Leadership. I love this brand, and their scenario is unique because they're selling courses and books and stuff like that, but the courses are sold globally, and depending on where you are and if you're a government employee or you work for Chase or wherever you work, the checkout experience is very unique, and we had to work a lot to improve the experience to make it as seamless as possible, even though you're collecting so much data. So I just have like a quick snapshot here of what the landing page looks like for this Women's in Leadership Experience course that you can sign up for. But I love, this website a lot. Just, they do great work. So I just wanted to highlight that from one that I find, dear to my heart. But I know you're excited to talk about Archer Roos as well.
Yeah. So Archer Roos came to us last year. They're looking to update the look and feel of their homepage and their site in general. And as I mentioned, they recognized the need to make sure that they paid attention to UX UI as part of this process. They work with another design agency, a creative agency, who was going to be helping them with the look and feel. They wanted to come to Shero for some of the e-commerce experience from a UX UI CRO standpoint and get our inputs so that we could weigh in on that process along the way. And that was just to ensure that they didn't design something that in the end wasn't good for the customer journey or wasn't going to increase conversions. So as part of this project, we've been collaborating with the third-party creative agency and focusing on, just updating the aesthetic while taking into consideration, what's the best UX here. And we worked on reviewing heat mapping for them, like you showed earlier. And we kind of looked at Google Search Console for some advice and in areas that we could make sure that we were paying attention to optimizing. And so, yeah, just as part of this process, looked at ways that we could improve the checkout and just different ways that the customers interact with the site. We are currently in the testing phase right now of the changes that we've made. We wanted to kind of sneak peek, but I don't want to steal the show from Archer Roos and let them have their reveal moment. So pulled this graphic off of their current website. But yeah, we're really excited to get through all of these changes and to roll that out so that they can start to see the benefits with their customers and hopefully get the ROI from making those CRO and UX improvements. So really excited.
Awesome. And I think one of the things we wanted to highlight here, which we do this with a lot of customers, is collaboration with, third parties or, internal teams, let's call it too. In some cases, we're collaborating with internal marketing teams, internal eCom teams, external creative agencies, you name it, right? And sometimes that can get really challenging. So it's just great to see the hard work that you're putting in as an account manager to make sure that everybody's working seamlessly together so we can execute and use all of our best strengths to help this customer grow online.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. And it's we have fantastic project managers too. Iris is the project manager for this one in particular, and she does a really good job of making sure that she passes information between all of the different companies that are working together on this project. Because as you mentioned, there can be some challenges, especially when we have multiple companies who are providing deliverables.
Right.
So to keep to a timeline, one of the really key things is communication. And we've had some fantastic communication between us, Archer Roos and their creative agency Colossus. And but I think that is also in part due to how well our project manager Iris has kept that communication flow going, and that's been really key to the success of the project.
Awesome. I love that you call that out. Yeah, it does take a team to really make it happen for sure.
Yeah.
And then also, the development team that has to understand the goals and objectives. So like so many layers to this,
Yes.
but we're excited to do final testing and launch that. So this is kind of like a sneak peek preview kind of speak, more to come, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything else you want to share about Archers? Because we have a couple of questions I wanted to call out.
I think that was pretty much it for that, other than, we're just really excited about making this live and really happy with the team's work, and I'm pumped about it. So can't wait to share the after story.
Yes. Yeah. Well, more to come. We'll do a nice case study on it. All right. There's one question in the chat. This is a big question here. Okay. As e-commerce evolves, how do you plan to adapt our account management for the latest trends and improve client services? Any specific technologies or areas to explore for stronger e-commerce partnership?
That's so like
thanks.
Yeah, I think something key to keep in mind for adapting account management for e-commerce as e-commerce evolves is that as account managers, we're continuously learning and improving, and we still go through training programs, and we're training ourselves in all of the platforms so that we can do our best work for our clients as well. So I just say that we adapt by staying at the forefront with the company on all of the e-commerce growth that we can do internally as well. Any specific technologies or areas to explore? I mean, I don't know how to answer that one, Beth. I don't know if you have any help there, but we try to optimize all of for data gathering. And to kind of information on not where our clients are, but where they're headed. And that way we can, kind of try to get in. I think in particular, we've been trying to do more road mapping for our clients. And I think providing roadmaps helps them also plan out their year ahead of them. And so that's something that we've started to do more. And I think that's been helping. We're trying to perfect that and kind of make that road mapping process a little more repeatable, I guess. So that's something I know that as account managers we're kind of looking forward to improving.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And we're always evolving, improving our processes. And we already use Jira for communication and Slack with our customers. Like you were saying, as technology evolves, we learn and evolve with it as well. So like, using ChatGPT in some cases to analyze data is going to become more and more powerful and important for us, right? So things like that I would add. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. One more question. What is the most common challenge you face when you're working with third parties on a project? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but I think it is making sure that there's open communication, and especially if we can work directly with third parties, that always helps, so that there's not kind of loss of information between, like, kind of playing phone tag. So like, for instance, with Archer Roos, they gave us direct access to, their creative agency, and we get to communicate directly with them. I think that helps. It saves time, and it helps clear up any confusion in real time. But yeah, I think one of the most common challenges, to your point, is communication. And because we all have different schedules, we're all working on different schedules. We're working on a sprint. We know that these other third parties are probably have their own schedules that they're keeping to. Getting communication when communication needs to happen to remain unblocked and keep moving forward. That's probably the biggest challenge we face. And so we try to to do our best to keep those communication lines open. And if we do find that it's not going as smoothly, that we call that out and get a fix in place quickly. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it often becomes a dependency, right? And
yeah,
unblocking and communicating through it is critical. And that's where, when you have that great rapport and relationship with the client and the third party, it just makes it that much easier when things happen that we're
yeah.
human, and working through the challenges is important. Awesome. Oh, I missed it. There was another question. It went too fast. I don't know if we can pop back up there.
I didn't read it.
I think I read it. Okay, yes, here we go. Does AI evaluate the psychology when it comes to UI UX, or are there still teams writing and creating that? Yeah, so I think AI is evolving with UI and UX, but it's not. You still need people that understand it, that can actually execute and do it. It will continue to evolve, but it's definitely not at a place where you're going to lose your job if you're a UI UX expert by any means. It's just AI is a tool to help you do your job faster and be more efficient and collect more data. But it's not at a place where it's going to replicate a human actually doing that work. So, job security still. Good question. Good question. Okay, so anything else, Jana, that you want to add before we wrap up today? It's been so great hearing your side of what you do every day at Shero, and all the great work you do for our clients, but I'm not sure if you have any final words.
Yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate you asking me to join. And I always love talking about account management and about our clients in particular. I'm very passionate about making sure that they succeed in everything that they set out to do. So yeah, partnering and hearing their needs and then helping find ways to meet them. So when I work and enjoy working with our clients, making it fun. I also try to bring the fun. So hope that hope that translates.
Absolutely. I mean, we like to get creative as well. Sometimes, it's good to put your creative mindset on to work through challenges. Awesome. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining. Like I said in the beginning, we do have a lot of things going on in Q1. So next week, we're going to be hosting a Shopify meetup in New York City on the 31st. So if you haven't signed up, please do that. We have a number of great resources there for you to talk to and learn more or work through the challenges that you have on your e-commerce store. So more to come there. And I'll also be at ICBA speaking about e-commerce strategy and road mapping, helping online bookstores grow their online business. And then in March, I'll be at Shop Talk. So I'm sure I'll see a lot of faces there. We'll be talking more about that. But I'm excited about all the great things we're doing at Shero, and I really appreciate everybody joining today. And as always, always be learning, and have a great day.